Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. So we have several speakers tonight, so we would have asked that you would have signed up before 7 o'clock to speak. We ask that you respect the 3-minute time limit. We also ask that you respect the confidentiality of our students and staff. The first speaker is Javier Salerno.
Oh, I can
You
start.
can start,
Okay.
Yeah, you can start. Yeah.
I'm here tonight representing some parents. They're gonna stand behind me so that you know that I'm talking for them and myself too. Good evening. On behalf of parents and community members of District 131, we would like to congratulate Dr. Norrell on her recent appointment as Superintendent of School District 233. We are truly grateful for her dedication and the support she has provided to our students and families during her tenure at School District 131. Dr. Norrell, we wish you the very best in your new role, and we are confident that your leadership will continue to make a positive impact. We are Padres Líderes Activos, active parent leaders, a group of parents committed to creating a positive change in Aurora since 2014. We recognize the importance of community involvement in the success of our children's education. We are a group, primarily Latino parents, that would like to be part of the community task force within our children's school district 131. We respectfully request that the school board prioritize transparency and include parents and community members in the hiring process of the new superintendent. We believe that it's extremely important to be transparent and have a clear line of communication between administrators and community members. Especially, we recommend the formation of a hiring committee that includes parents as well as organizations, or the organization of public forums, candidate interviews where our voices can be heard and considered. Our group is energized and full of ideas to support the district's needs alongside educators, school leaders, and administrators. We strongly believe that building strong partnership between parents and schools is a key to fostering positive learning environments, providing social and emotional support, and ensuring the academic success of all students. Thank you for your time and consideration. We look forward to working together to create a brighter future for our children. Thank you.
Okay, Michelle Taylor.
Long walk. Should have sat in the front. I do have a handout, which is just basically what I'm going to say. So I can, if you want to just take one, pass it down. Good evening, members of the board. I'm proud to share with you that I have been a teacher in District 131 for 11 years. I have worked both as a special education resource teacher, a sheltered 4th grade teacher, and I'm currently teaching in the 4th grade dual language program. I would like to share with you my experiences and perspectives regarding the impact that the dual language program has had on the amount of instructional minutes received in the intermediate grades. In the 2021-22 school year and in the 2023-24 school year, students received 345 minutes a week, or approximately 60 minutes per day of math instruction. This school year, we have 50 minutes per day, or 225 minutes of math instruction, 2 days of which are 100 minutes in Spanish. Our current curriculum, iReady, recommends 45 to 60 minutes per lesson. This does not include personalizing instruction and differentiating instruction for our diverse learners. It does, however, require, at minimum, 5 to 8 minutes of transition time to mixed language groups. Losing approximately 20 minutes of instruction and adding in the transition time brings our instructional minutes down to anywhere between 40 and 45 minutes a day. Additionally, our language arts instructional minutes have been cut. Our time was cut from 30 minutes to 15 minutes to instruct students in writing. This is an extremely inefficient time to support our learners. Our instructional minutes do not include transition times from specials or time for brain breaks to help the kids stay engaged. As we look at adopting new language arts curriculum, we must consider the amount of instructional time recommended in each program for students in their first language. Our students' test scores support the need for sufficient instructional time in their first language to help bridge learning gaps and skill deficits. Finally, we are currently required to assess students using the Fontes and Pinnell reading assessment. If we take approximately 45 to 50 minutes in their first and second language, it could potentially take a grade level team of 50 combined students up to 2,500 minutes to assess. There are 1,655 minutes a day in a full instructional week. The only time we have to complete these assessments is during small group instruction and win time. We do this fall, winter, and spring. We have lost weeks of instructional time for these one-on-one assessments. Thank you for your thoughtful consideration as we continue to explore new curriculum models, scheduling, and the diverse needs of our learners. Thank you.
Thank you. Joy Carl.
Good evening, Board of Education. My name is Joy Caro, and I am here representing the special education in the SLC, or Structured Learning Classroom Program at Gates Elementary School. At our school, 17% of our student body is serviced through special education, and a majority of those students, 73% of them, are in our SLC program. Gates has housed the SLC program for many years, and within the past 3 years, we have served all K through 5 SLC grades for the district in our building. As the program grows, we are now serving around 60 students, and our needs have grown as well. Our students have complex needs in the areas of communication, sensory, daily functioning, and behavior and social emotion, just to name a few. Our program has faced challenges in regards to safety, as many of our students have difficulty following safety rules in the school environment. Some can be aggressive, and some have even are known to elope the building. Last year, the district recognized that we needed more support for our students and staff, and they hired the assistant principal for special programs, who has been housed at our building at Gates since August of this year, Ms. Kaylin Wilson. Ms. Wilson has been an important part of our program since the beginning of the school year. She has created much needed and necessary procedures and protocols, relationships with parents, students, and staff. She assists and guides in teams' crisis situations, assists with IEP paperwork and meetings, and supports our students and our team in so many ways. With Kaylin as our administrator, our team, students, and families have been supported to a degree that has not been possible in the past. However, certified staff were notified in the staff meeting today that she has been pulled from Gates permanently. No explanation was given, and no one has been identified to take her place. Other non-certified staff still have not been officially notified, and it seems as if the decision was made last week, as Ms. Wilson has been absent from our building since last Friday. As an SLC team, we are concerned that the decision like this will negatively affect our students, our team, and our families, as well as our program as a whole. Ms. Wilson has a wealth of knowledge about special education and specifically the students whom we serve. Not only is she an asset to our program, but her support is needed as we navigate the complex and challenging issues that arise on a daily basis within the SLC program. We're asking this decision for Ms. Wilson to be removed from Gates to be reconsidered, as her support is very much needed to run the program safely and efficiently. Thank you for your time and attention.
Robert London.
as Ms. Carlo just stated, I'm a parent. My kids go to Gates Elementary. Again, I just found out as well about Ms. Wilson's resignation. I want to bill for that as well to come back because she is a big supporter for the school as a whole. Now, the circumstances as to why she was removed, I don't know, but I think it has something to do with my son that was involved with something involving the current principal, who I was told was going to be removed, but is now back. I don't even know this principal. I don't know what she looked like. I don't know her name, but I've never had a conversation with her. But she was involved in something about 2 months ago with my son, where my son was dragged across the pavement and he had a scar on his back, and she was on leave for that. I was told she was gone. That sucked. I don't want to see anyone out of a job. However, I didn't get a call or nothing from her. I got a call from Ms. Wilson that day and the days to follow, and I want her back. She was good, supporting with me, my kids. Anytime there was something going on, she'd call me straight from home, you know. As far as the current principal that is still there now, brought back, whatever, I haven't even got an apology for what she did to my son. So I don't like that. And I know, you know, as Gates and other schools, Waldo and them, when the administration comes here and talks to you guys about stuff, they got to, you know, be good with their words, you know, in fear of backlash. I'm just a parent. I don't care about the backlash. I'm just telling it straight in fact. I want my kids to be safe at a school that I trust, and I trusted more with Ms. Wilson around. So I didn't have no speech plan for this. This is my first board meeting. Happy to see you guys, but I will be back for more.
Shelley Doyle.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I had written a couple of notes here, which I will adhere to slightly. I'm here to also express my deep concern for the removal of our special education assistant principal, Kaylin Wilson. I want to take you back very briefly to the end of last year. Last year for our SLC program was extremely challenging. The whole year was very challenging. There were many safety concerns, both for students and for staff alike. We were offered to give a wish list, and our concerns were heard by the district, and we were extremely grateful to find that Kaylin Wilson had been assigned as the director of, or let's say the special programs director, particularly overseeing our building. The 3 staff in the SLC that remained, certified staff, we lost many staff at the end of last year, were extremely relieved. And as soon as we met with Kaylin and within the first week, we were extremely impressed by her ability to run the ship. And, you know, I likened it to her. I said, you know, we're already moving and you are fixing it as we go. That's one amazing skill, because week on week, the improvements to the program were tangible. They were noted by both families and staff alike. The camaraderie in our team is phenomenal, and that's down to her. She is a leader. She is a compassionate person who goes above and beyond, even after the school day. She advocates for her students, her team, with a passion that I haven't seen for a long time, and it is so refreshing. She is knowledgeable. She is able to communicate in a variety of settings with a variety of different levels of people, and is exceptional at communicating with parents, and goes out of her way to support the whole family as best as she can. And as a mother of an autistic child myself, having that support and that heartfelt support, someone genuinely cares about you and your family and what's best for your kids, it is it's changed. It's completely life-changing for that family. And she has done that over and over and over again for our families in the short time that she's been there. I'm not sure.
Your time is up.
Okay. I hope I've said enough to make my point. Thank
Okay,
you so
thank you.
much.
On to communications from the superintendent, but at this point, I'm going to jump in here before Dr. Norrell does, and I'm going to talk about, our search process and, Dr. Norrell leaving and things like that. So first of all, I always like to dispel any rumors. So Dr. Norrell found a position back where she did go home to her, to a school district that she was very familiar with, and a community that she actually raised her child in. So that was the ideal position for her, and we are now going to enter into the search phase of her position, which I do want to dispel a rumor that's out there. We are not, we did not pay her out of her contract. She has resigned, and now we will move to so paying her out of her contract is zero. So there's many wild rumors around the community, and I just want to set that straight. She has resigned, and we will be working on a search. That search will consist of, we will be most likely hiring a search firm tonight. And that search will consist of a lot of community meetings, and meetings with our staff and all of the stakeholder groups. The search firm will run those meetings, so it's done very independently, and they do this all the time. So they gather facts about the district, and then they weigh it by these meetings. There will also be an online survey portal that parents and staff members and everybody else can go to and fill out what they feel their needs are in a superintendent. Once the search firm does that, they gather all these facts and they come back with a profile of what the community is looking for. From there, they go ahead and they look for people who fit that profile, so to speak. So the board has definitely heard issues about dual language, about safety and security, about climate and culture, and obviously recently about our special education. So that being said, I encourage everybody, when these groups start, that we all take an active role in them and come out and come in and give people, what you are really looking for in a superintendent, but that would be key to our search. Like I said, once this group is, the survey is done, the board then will start interviewing candidates. But we have looked at search firms that were large enough to be able to come out and really do these surveys, because that's what the board finds very important. There are a lot of search firms out there, but obviously, the board was looking for somebody that could go out and do a lot of group meetings. So that being said, you do have the voice, and you should use your voice, and you should come to those meetings. So that's where we're at in the search process. But, from time to time, we will keep you updated, and probably look to get going with this, closely right after the holidays. So, thank you. I want to thank everybody, and I hope everybody participates. So thank you.
Okay.
Mhm.
All
Dr.
right.
Norrell, you
Yes.
are on.
Okay. I believe we're starting this evening with our student board member report. Is our student board member here? Oh, yeah, there he is.
There he is.
Hi. And so this will be your first report, right? Last time was the other student board member. So the floor is yours.
All right. Hello and good afternoon, board members. Before I begin, I would like to thank you all for your dedication and hard work for East Aurora and for allowing me to voice the opinions of both students and teachers in addressing concerns and improving our overall school environment. I've been a part of this community for over 10 years through siblings, attending a variety of events from sporting events to concerts to band activities. And I think it's truly inspiring to see how resilient we are as a school. I'm also honored to represent East Aurora on the city level through the Aurora Youth Council, and I could proudly say that we're definitely among the best schools in the area. That said, I believe there are some issues we need to address. Recently, there have been policies being developed to handle disrespect, particularly in situations where students talk back to deans. I understand the school is actively working on defining what constitutes disrespect and implementing ways to address it. Additionally, regarding fight outbursts, I want to acknowledge the progress being made. For example, last year at this time, there were 21 fights, while this year we've only had 12. The closer engagement between students and deans, as well as new ideas like a check-in, check-out policy, demonstrate that the solutions that are being explored and implemented are definitely making an impact. Regarding the new block schedule, while some students have expressed frustration with scheduling challenges, I recognize that these concerns may only affect specific groups of students. Teachers may also be going through an adjustment period. It's important to note that many students, according to surveys, have expressed liking the schedule that also mirrors college classes and helps prepare students for secondary institutions. Although East Aurora has one of the highest graduation rates in the area, we should continue focusing on academic performance, including addressing truancy and test scores. That said, statistically, truancy rates are improving this year compared to last, and interventions are being implemented to continue this trend. Supporting students in the classroom to complete their work and helping them stay on the right track remains a key area for growth. On a brighter note, the student newspaper is back, introducing clubs for students to join and highlighting student events. I believe school culture is moving in the right direction with events like tailgates becoming successful, the implementation of the student section and the rec center, which helps students explore career interests if they don't plan on pursuing a secondary education. Additionally, events like Noche Latina have been fantastic in allowing students to express their culture, especially since our school is predominantly Latino. However, it's disappointing that for the first time in a while, we won't have either the jazz band or the Latin jazz band, which impacts our strong music program. While East Aurora is making strides in fostering school spirit and offering students more opportunities, there are still challenges we can work together to address. By continuing to collaborate, we can ensure a more supportive and successful environment for all students. Thank you all for listening, and I look forward to working with you all throughout the school year. Thank you.
Our next report will be our community relations report, and Marissa Yalanowski is going to just share a summary and highlights for all of the hard work that went into pulling off a fabulous parent university last weekend. So I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. On Saturday, November 9th, we hosted our 5th annual Parent University, and more than 200 parents came to East Aurora High School to learn how they can help with their child's educational journey. Parents were able to listen to and be inspired by our remarkable presenters, including Jacqueline Camacho Ruiz, who's an author, entrepreneur, and pilot, and Dr. Mario Guzman, a renowned professor of psychology. In addition, parents enjoyed breakfast, who doesn't enjoy that, lunch, learned about community services, and received autographed books from our guest authors, which were a gift from our district to them. Parents also got a t-shirt with a special message for their children. I love it. It says, "Give it your all, échale ganas." It's a great message. And in addition to winning raffle prizes and so much more, there was just so much that took place. And I got to tell you that there aren't many districts that host this type of event for the parents. And I truly, truly appreciate how much this district cares about parent engagement. If it wasn't for our board, our superintendent, leadership team, events like these wouldn't exist for our school district. And I can tell you a lot of parents who are really grateful and telling me how much they appreciate what we do for them so that they can be involved with their child's education. I wanted to thank a couple of people for their work behind the scenes, Melissa Diaz and Marisa Martinez and Jalisa Martinez for organizing and bringing this event to life. We'd also like to thank AJ Kawash, Nick Curry from the Building and Grounds team, Andy Allen and Karina Montgomery from Information Technology and all of their staff, as well as the principals, building leaders, and volunteers for everything you do behind the scenes to make this a special day for our parents. Nobody gets to see that hard work and what it takes. So we really appreciate that. So now I'll leave you with some pictures from that day that Andy will bring up for us.
Okay. Well, the next item on the agenda is in honor of Friday was actually the official day, although technically it's an entire month celebration, where it is National School Board Appreciation Day was Friday, and November is National School Board Appreciation Month. And of course, we have a few items, just small tokens of our appreciation as a district and community to say thank you to our board members. But first, I would just like to give an even special thank you to our Board of Education as I made the very difficult and very bittersweet decision to leave the district at the end of this year to take another opportunity. And I just want to say, this is my last board appreciation with this Board of Education. And some of you have been here for all 7 years since the very beginning. Some of you actually were the board members that chose to take a chance on an assistant sup who had no prior superintendent experience. And for that, I will always be eternally grateful. So I just want to say that, and I'm going to stop talking about that before I get too emotional. So I just want to say thank you for the work that you do. Like, you do so much. And I don't know that most people know, because a lot of you have experience on other boards, but this is a completely voluntary job. Like, you do hours and hours and go through all this material and spend countless hours. And because we're such a large district, we have these meetings twice a month, backed up with committee meetings, and all of you are committee members. And that's hours of reading and asking questions. So people may not know, when you get to this point, the reason that our board meetings go pretty smoothly is because you've already done your due diligence. You've already read volumes and volumes of materials. Thank you to the executive cabinet, who always want to give you volumes of material to read. And so I think it is certainly, I can't say it's a thankless job, because every time we're able to put young people in front of you, every time we're able to have staff that give feedback on the things that you have put in place, it's an opportunity for you to get thanks. And I just want to say that we recognize that it is a lot of work and you do it very well. If you just look at the success that we've been able to have the last 7 years, we have not been mired down with adult issues only. We've really worked at how we can remove barriers for staff and for students so that we could have success. And so that was not possible without a highly, highly functional school board. And so for that, no matter when you join the board, I just want to take a few minutes to say kudos to you and to thank you. And I think it's even more special for me to share this board member appreciation, because as all of you know, I was board approved by another board of education. So no one can say that I'm just saying this because I'm kissing up to my bosses. At this point, I still celebrate each of the people that you are. And I can do that. And now people will listen because they'll know that it must truly come from the heart. So thank you. Thank you to all of you. And with that, we have a little something special to give you, just a small token. Lisa, you ready? All right. And they have names, so you don't get the wrong ones. That would be not good.
Well, since you're handing this out, I just want to say thank you. A lot has happened under your leadership. From facility upgrades to, a lot of the schools to commendable or even higher. And when you sit back and reflect, I mean, a lot in those 6-7 years, you've made a difference. You've made a difference, and I know that a lot of the families are happy, and so I want to thank you as a parent for all the work that you've done.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is for you. Did you pass them all out? Everyone has one? Okay. So if everyone would just join me in a round of applause for the hardest working board of education. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's keep this band together to the community. Thank you. All right. District updates. So wanted to just put something on the agenda to remind everyone, because of we share the field house with the National Guard. We were not able to have Las Posadas the first weekend as we normally would. And so now we're going to move to try to book it in advance 3 more years. There was just a year gap that we kind of got off sequence. So we thought it is such a wonderful event. We wanted to formalize it and place it on the agenda. So it is December 15th. So please mark your calendars. It starts roughly around noon, 12:30. And let me just say this about Las Posadas. We heard loud and clear feedback from parents and our schools that they really loved, the pandemic took a little something away because we had to prioritize health and safety. And so now we're going to move back to letting the schools go back to when I first got here. And it was each school had their theme and each school got to create whatever dishes they wanted to celebrate and all of that. But we're still going to honor the ability of each school to create what they want. We're just asking that each school have a way to kind of order from a professional vendor for whatever it is that they want. We're still kind of shying away as we still deal with not just COVID, but other things that we want to make sure that we're being healthy and safe. And so we definitely want to honor each school's choice, but we're not going to just bring things from all the homes across the dish. We're going to let people bring things, but it has to be something that the school is ordering. And we are not doing donations from families. This is our opportunity to say thank you and give back to our families. And so the schools will have a budget to take care of these items. So I just want to say that too publicly. Each school can pick their theme. They can work with parent liaisons. They can work with their parents and make it a real posadas, but we're going to help with that. We don't want to push that financial burden on to families or our staff as they were trying to kind of get together to figure out what to do. So, and then lastly, I would just like to say, I shared a little bit in the curriculum committee meeting, but the end of the first quarter was exceptional. And the reason that it was exceptional was because once again, we did a lot of lifting. And when I say we, I mean like all 1,800 staff, because we lifted and launched a new student management program. And we are not anywhere near where we need to be figuring this out. So thank you to parents who were understanding of us saying, grades, what grades? We can't do those yet. We're just taking attendance. That's what we said we were going to do. Where's Becky? It was just going to take attendance. Isn't that what we promised? And so, teachers are still trying to figure out, parents are still trying to figure out how to use this. It will be a better system. It is definitely a better system on the end user side, but that's a big lift. And so I think we're moving more rapidly than we did with Infinite Campus, if that gives you any consolation. But that was huge first quarter. Also, the high school launching block scheduling. Shout out to everybody that works there. That was a huge lift. It was like, and we're still lifting. They're still building as they're flying this plane. And so I want to say that was big first quarter. Launching the Resilience Education Center. We launched another campus for the high school, and that was really big. And it has taken off tremendously. We've heard positive things from kids, from staff who love the digs now. They love their place now that we've worked out all of those little nuances and they've gotten everything there. So again, kudos to all the vision of the board, all the support of the board. And I think, but we had a lot to do. Like there was a lot that had to happen this first quarter, and we survived it. And we are well on our way into second quarter and actually into ending the first semester. We are celebrating, and we're going to come back next time and talk about the state report card. But there were some schools, you heard Cowherd earlier, shout out to Cowherd, raised their scores up 2 designations at the state. And we're going to talk about Johnson. I can't say this enough. We happen to have a school in our district that is in the top 1% of the schools in the state of Illinois. So we're going to come back and give you real numbers, but kudos as this data becomes more rapidly available. We're going to share that with you, right, Dr. Engel? So that's forthcoming. So that's it. Those are my updates. And again, I can't say it enough, a heartfelt thank you to this Board of Education. So that concludes my report.
Okay. All righty. Okay. All right. So motion to approve the consent agenda is listed.
Second.
Any questions? Secretary, call the roll.
Schubert,
Yes.
Gillespie, Johnson,
Yes.
Cifuentes,
Yes.
Arroyo,
Yes.
Olivas,
Yes.
Lache.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then, okay, so the finance and personnel, that is actually with me. So we met on November 4th, and I think we're thinking about not having our December 2nd meeting because there is not much of an agenda. So we will not have the December 2nd finance meeting. But anyways, we did meet on November 4th, and basically all of the items that we for the most part covered, we had actually voted on, except a couple one-on-ones and an overload that Cowherd School needs. So we only have those 2 items, but the other ones had been all voted and discussed at the last meeting. So motion to approve 1 special education overload at Waldo Middle School.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Secretary, call the roll.
Schubert,
Yes.
Gillespie,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Olivas,
Yes.
Arroyo,
Yes.
Cifuentes,
Yes.
Lache.
Yes.
Motion to approve 1 special education overload at Cowherd.
So moved. Second.
Any questions? Secretary, call the roll.
Gillespie,
Yes.
Cifuentes,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schubert,
Yes.
Lache,
Yes.
Arroyo,
Yes.
Olivas.
Yes.
Okay, on to curriculum and programs with 1.
Good evening, everyone. The Curriculum and Programs Committee met this evening here at 6 p.m. I will give a summary of that meeting at the next board meeting on December 2nd. We do have 2 action items on the agenda here. We just went over these items this evening, and I didn't know if Ms. Martinez or Dr. Norell wanted to go over the family activities pilot and the counseling plan.
Yes. just really briefly in summary, and I said this earlier, we spent first quarter really getting our courses up and running and making sure that those classes that are completely booked were outfitted with what they needed because this was a new building. And so now that is well underway. We feel our teachers and our students have what they need for the students who are attaining credit hours. We have moved into one of the original purposes of the Resilience Education Center, which was to provide counseling supports for families as well as activities outside of the regular school day for all families, birth to 3, our Jumpstart program, our pre-K program, all the way up through 8th grade. And so what we talked about is really wanting to be able to offer a day of discovery for our parents and our community to be able to sign up for classes. So if the board approves the first proposal tonight, that is just to do a December 14th Discovery Day. We have definitely gotten feedback for what our spaces would, how our spaces would impact the community, the parents, how our spaces would be great for mommy and me classes and for classes after school with our students. But this is an opportunity to see how many parents sign up. And then once they sign up and experience a class, it's an opportunity for them to give us feedback. What we plan to do, if you approve the pilot tonight, which is our Discovery Day, then we'll come back to the board and talk about the feedback from our parents. And then if you're okay with what we come back to you with and our data, we would then pitch, here's what we want to do for the next 6 weeks for the winter program. Here's what we want to do for the spring 6-week program. So that is what your approval tonight is. It's really to approve us to post, to hire, and to have a December 14th Discovery Day for our families to experience what activities might be like. And that will be in dance and yoga and art. In theater productions and on our learning stairs. So that's what they're going to be able to sign up for the classes just to take a sample class and give us feedback. The other piece of that is to give us permission to post to find out how many of our current clinicians would like to work Monday through Thursday in any capacity. Let's say you're a clinician, you can only give one day, but you'd be willing to do it. Monday through Thursday, every day school is open. We'd like to be able to hire our own clinicians after work hours to be able to provide counseling services to students at the rec. And then that would sort of serve as a pilot, because if we do have an abundance of individuals willing to work, we could replicate that at other sites. And so we're asking tonight, because we can't post to find out who would be interested until you give approval. So those are the 2 approvals for tonight. And then we will certainly come back in January with our data and then talk about next steps.
So just one comment onto that. So I'm all for that idea. I think that's absolutely what that center was built for. I just would like to extend it a little bit further. You know, you can think about that tonight. We can vote on what you certainly proposed, but I want to extend that a little bit further in that, say that there is some parent that the social workers are trying to chase down, but they can never get that parent really to come in during the day. I'd like to extend that social worker has the opportunity to be paid the stipend in the evenings to come, even if they didn't sign up to be a part of this program to work, Monday through Thursday, that they just have a chance to, book a room, say it's that social worker that doesn't say they're really part of the program. But we have these parents that, they've been trying to chase down, because I know that happens with our staff a lot. I know they're always, they have sometimes a hard time connecting because people work and they just can't get in. So I would like you to consider that, but, because I wasn't really a part of the curriculum meeting, but I think that could help,
We could bring
Well,
that back.
I think we kind of mentioned that at the meeting.
Okay, because I wasn't here yet.
Yes, I think we kind of mentioned that, giving staff an opportunity
Yeah.
to be a part of that, and
This-
that they get
This would be above
resources.
and beyond. This would be the people that aren't necessarily on the list, but maybe they just want to book the room. They're a social worker that could potentially.
Yeah, so we would bring that back. I would want to be able to protect the cost, because otherwise it would be an open door, like an open door. So we would just want to be able to protect the cause. And I also would like to have a conversation with the, because when I shared this before I brought it to you, I brought it up in our IFT monthly meeting, so I can take that back to them. And they are really good at flushing out, like, because they consider all different types. So not just a social worker, but maybe there's the psych's like, well, you're paying a social worker. So I will bring that back, and then we'll work it out and bring it back to the board. Okay.
I also think it's a great idea, especially with counseling. Could we also look at doing it online? I mean, at night, make it easier? I'm not saying book the room, but I think she means open it up to anyone at night, right?
We'll basically open it up to people who want to come and have those one-on-one meetings with our social workers, because a lot of our parents do work during the day, and that's why it's hard to connect these services to our parents, and I really think we got to look at the bigger picture with social work, because there's a lot of complaints out in the district about the climate and the culture, but sometimes people get grumpy at work just because they don't feel they're being heard, or they're tired. So I think it's just a matter of opening it up and trying to get our students some more help. After COVID, kids have just had a much harder time adjusting to school, and that's not just our school district, but our parents a lot of times do not have very flexible schedules. They can't just leave work in the middle of the day. So I kind of want you guys to explore this in a more broad sense. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, we can bring it back. We'll bring it back to
Mhm.
curriculum committee next month.
But by all means, let's, try
Let's
to
start
start the
somewhere.
program
Yeah,
immediately.
this is
Let's start
the
somewhere.
counseling
Let's just look
program.
at the big picture, and try to get some more avenues in there to help our families. So.
Well, this is a good step to
Mhm.
start with, and then from
Yes.
there we can
Mhm.
expand
back the
and
data.
find alternative
Yeah.
ways to
Yeah,
kind of just
That'd be great.
open
Okay.
it up. So
Yeah.
if anybody, no more questions, we'll start with the first action item, 7.B.1. Motion to approve the Resilience Education Center interim counseling plan.
So move. Second.
Any questions? Secretary, call the roll.
Cefuentes,
Yes.
Arroyo,
Yes.
Olivas,
Yes.
Gillespie,
Yes.
LaShay,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Schubert,
Yes.
All right, on to the next action item, 7.B.2. Motion to approve the Resilience Education Center Family Activities Pilot.
So move.
Second.
Any questions? Secretary, call the roll.
Gillespie,
Yes.
Schubert,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Cefuentes,
Yes.
Arroyo,
Yes.
LaShay,
Yes.
All right,
Olivas.
Yes.
our next curriculum meeting will be on December 16th here at the Administrative Center at 6 p.m. And that concludes my report.
Okay. On to buildings and grounds with Mr. Schubert.
Okay, so we had our meeting on November 4th. I'm just going to give a summary of that meeting. Our next meeting is still in the works in terms of organization and time. Is that correct? Okay, so more to come on that. That'll be published shortly. We did discuss the East High School HVAC that's being phased over 3 years. That's going to be a great improvement to East High. Removing some old boilers and replacing them with kind of state-of-the-art hydronic systems. And that's going to take place over the next 3 years. We did discuss the Career Technical Center. The district did report that they are continuing work with administration, conferring with teachers on really how that building is going to be utilized, and really kind of fulfill the goals that were set forth by the Board of Education. A meeting was held with the architects, the district attorneys, and representatives of the city to look at traffic in that area, specifically around Indian Trail and Mitchell Road. The committee did have some discussion on that and supported further research being conducted by the district, just to ensure that we're being mindful of the surrounding neighbors and ensuring a safe intersection at that location. We also discussed out at the Magnet Academy, there was some contractor work on a retaining wall and stairway system. There were some difficulties in drilling and digging. The contractor did come back to the district and ask for a substantial change order. However, the communication was not ideal back to the district, on the project delays and the associated escalation of the fees. So the committee did decline any further payment of those fees. And the committee confirmed the district is conducting weekly project checks to ensure that the communication lines remain open on all of our projects. We did discuss the cloud software patch management system and a remote management system. The current company raised fees, so the district took the opportunity to really look around and find other vendors. So a less expensive package that provided also remote access was found. So that is on our agenda for board consideration for approval this evening. And then the Building and Grounds Group has been very busy in October. We had over 400 work orders that were submitted. And so that's quite a few work orders, with most of them being completed within 7 days. So that's outstanding. So kudos to the Building and Grounds team who keep our buildings the way they are. So with that, there is one action item. If there's no questions, I'll get right into that. That is 8B1. I need a motion to approve the 3-year agreement for Kaseya Cloud I hope I said that right. Software patch management system with remote management for all District 131 workstations in the amount of $61,579.12.
So moved.
Second. I have a quick question. What is it for? Never heard of it.
It is it's a software management system for, say, security purposes.
Okay.
No, it's just, it runs software on all of our district computers.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Secretary, call the roll.
LaShay,
Yes.
Schubert,
Yes.
Olivas,
Yes.
Gillespie,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Cefuentes,
Yes.
Arroyo.
Yes.
Okay. Motion to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing workman's compensation, independent contractors, and the appointment, employment, performance, compensation, and dismissal of a specific employee, plus property acquisition.
Second.
Cefuentes,
Yes.
Schubert,
Yes.
Gillespie,
Yes.
Arroyo, Johnson,
Yes.
LaShay.
Yes.
I know, I'm doing it. Yep, do it in this one.
We are, so we have.
Motion to reconvene from executive session.
So move.
Secretary, call the roll.
Cefuentes.
Yes.
Arroyo. Olivas.
Yes.
Schubert.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Gillespie.
Yes.
LaShay.
Yes.
Okay. And motion to approve the superintendent search agreement for BWP.
So moved.
Second.
Secretary, call the roll.
Arroyo.
Yes.
LaShay.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Gillespie.
Yes.
Schubert.
Yes.
Cefuentes.
Yes.
Olivas.
Yes.
Okay. All righty. And on to our expulsions. So Bruce.
Okay. The first, be it resolved that this Board of Education, after having considered the evidence presented by the hearing officer, hereby upholds the recommendation in lieu of expulsion for alternate placement at Illinois Virtual School for student number 695127868 of East Aurora High School effective November 19th, 2024 for the remainder of the 2025 school year to include summer school 2025. Should student fail to attend the alternative educational setting, the expulsion will be immediately enacted for the remainder of the expulsion term without further action by the Board of Education. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be sent to the parents of said student and duly recorded in the official minutes of this Board of Education School District 131 dated this 18th day of November 2024.
Okay. Motion to approve the resolution for student number 695127868.
Second.
Secretary, call the roll.
LaShay.
Yes.
Schubert.
Yes.
Olivas.
Yes.
Gillespie.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Cefuentes.
Yes.
Arroyo.
Yes.
Be it resolved that this Board of Education, after having considered the evidence presented by the hearing officer, hereby upholds the recommendation in lieu of expulsion for alternate placement at Illinois Virtual School for student number 936718808 of East Aurora High School effective November 19, 2024 for the remainder of the 2024-2025 school year to include summer school of 2025. Should student fail to attend the alternative educational setting, the expulsion will be immediately enacted for the remainder of the expulsion term without further action by the Board of Education. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be sent to the parents of said student and duly recorded in the official minutes of this Board of Education, School District 131, dated this 18th day of November 2024.
Okay. Motion to approve the resolution for student number 936718808.
So move.
Second.
Secretary, call the roll.
Olivas.
Yes.
Cefuentes.
Yes.
Schubert.
Yes.
Gillespie.
Yes.
Arroyo.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
LaShay.
Yes.
Be resolved that this Board of Education, after having considered the evidence presented by the hearing officer, hereby upholds a recommendation in lieu of expulsion for alternative placement at Illinois Virtual School for student number 502147170 of East Aurora High School effective November 19, 2024 for the remainder of the 2024-2025 school year to include summer school of 2025. Should student fail to attend the alternative educational setting, the expulsion will be immediately enacted for the remainder of the expulsion term without further action by the Board of Education. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be sent to the parents of said student and duly recorded in the official minutes of this Board of Education, School District 131, dated this 18th day of November 2024.
Okay. Motion to approve the resolution for student number 502147170.
Second.
Secretary, call the roll.
Cefuentes.
Yes.
Arroyo.
Yes.
Olivas.
Yes.
Schubert.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Gillespie.
Yes.
LaShay.
Yes.
Be resolved that this Board of Education, after having considered the evidence presented by the hearing officer, hereby upholds the recommendation for expulsion of student number 389361361 of East Aurora Extension Campus effective November 19, 2024 for the remainder of the 2024-2025 school year to include summer school 2025 and the 2025-2026 school year to include summer school of 2026. At the completion of the expulsion period, student number 389-361-361 will return to the Extension campus for the 2026-2027 school year on November 19th, 2026. Be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be sent to the parents of said student and duly recorded in the official minutes of this Board of Education, School District 131, dated this 18th day of November 2024.
Motion to approve the resolution for student 389-361-361.
So moved.
Secretary call the roll.
Arroyo. Yes. LaShay.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Gillespie.
Yes.
Schubert.
Yes.
Cefuentes. Olivas.
Yes.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Secretary call the roll.
Arroyo. LaShay.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Gillespie.
Yes.
Schubert.
Yes.
Cefuentes. Olivas.
Yes.
Oh.
You're supposed to put those down.